Very good. We're live on the explanation of development teams in Scrum. Yeah, what are the characteristics? Well, the purpose of the development team is to deliver pieces of done work according to the definition of done, according to the sprint goal. It's not that they can work on whatever they want, they have to work on whatever they define as the sprint goal. They're focused and committed to the sprint goal. To make that happen is a great idea to have small teams. Small for us in Scrum means between 3 and 9 members. So we have enough size to have all the needed capabilities to complete the piece of work, and this is small enough so communication is fluent. If we have a big group, it's more difficult to communicate. This is social effect. If you go to a party, organize a birthday party with 100 people, you will see that they are not a group of 20 people, 50 people talking to each other, right? They will be like couples or 3 or 4 or 5, 7 maybe, right? It's very difficult to see really large group communicating to each other if they are not doing the conga. So that's why small is a good idea. Communication is most fluent. We also need the team to be cross-functional so they can deliver the piece. They don't depend on other teams, right? If they can deliver themselves and they have all the capabilities, all the skills needed to deliver the piece, they can get feedback and action the feedback directly and take responsibility for the whole piece and for actioning the feedback gathered from the stakeholders. That's why it's very important to have cross-functional teams so they can deliver whole pieces of complete work that can potentially be delivered. That's why we also don't want to have sub-teams and sub-roles like testers or architects or business analysts. We can have people that enjoy more specific type of work. They know more about one specific type of work, or they have specific skills. That's okay. But we want the whole team to be committed to the sprint goal. And that's why we don't want to differentiate. Everyone will do their best to ensure that we have a potentially shippable product at the end of the sprint. Yeah? They can have skills, but we don't have some teams, some roles. Yeah? It's important that we understand that we don't require everyone to be able to do everything and be expert at everything. That's a team of superheroes, right? If you have it, great, but it's not that we require that. But we want everyone to be as flexible as possible. Agile is about creating flexibility in the organization so we adapt better to the needs of the customer. To have a flexible organization, we need to have a flexible teams. And to have flexible teams, we need flexible people. So people that are open to learn as many skills as possible so they contribute better to the team and therefore to the organization. Yeah? Not superhero, but they are open to learn and provide more skills. Team should be self-organized. Self-organized, that means that they can take responsibility. Yeah? If they are told what to do, they are not deciding themselves, they might blame the outside because of the lack of success. Yeah, I was doing whatever they told me to do, it's not my fault, it worked on my machine, I just did what my boss told me to do. To prevent that effect, to prevent that lack of commitment and get the people taking responsibility, we apply this strategy of self-organization. But this is something that we need to work on. It's something that we need to earn. It's not something to be taken for granted. Hey, we are now self-organized. Just go self-organize. Yeah, it's not so easy. So how to make self-organization happen? Yeah, this is how I explain self-organization. So first important element for self-organization is to clearly define what is the goal. So people know where to go. Yeah? The goal should be clear and people should connect with the goal and understand that it's important for them, not for the product owner or for the manager or for the team lead, but for them. I really want to reach this goal. It should be relevant and should be shared. Everyone in the team understand that they have the same goal and they will have to do their best to reach it. That's why it's very important to have in Scrum a clear sprint goal. So the team commits to the sprint goal. Next important element is ability. They should be able to do whatever is needed and reach that goal. They should know what is to be done. They need to have a connection with these stakeholders so they understand the details of what is to be done themselves firsthand. And they also need to know every technical information or every technical skill needed to complete the work. Otherwise, they can say, well, I can't reach the goal because I don't know how to get there. We should ensure that they know. And also that they have all the tools, machines, space, and elements needed to reach the goal. We should provide them with that. Otherwise, they can say, well, actually, I can't do that because I don't have access to that computer, access to that service, access to that resource. Yeah? We should ensure they have all the resources. Then we can move these boundaries. Actually, self-organization is already there. They can decide on something, right? They can decide, for example, when to go to the bathroom. And they can decide if they maybe can use the headphones or not use headphones. And we just want to make these boundaries a little bit bigger so they can commit to a little bit more. They can commit to the goal of not only being here present for 8 hours during the day, but also to commit to the sprint goal. And therefore, the boundaries should be compatible with that new goal, which should open a little bit more. Do whatever is needed as long as you finish with this goal. You do it in 1 week because we do 1 week sprint here. Everything is delivered, potentially deliverable according to your definition of done. You had a proper communication with stakeholders, so on and so forth. So that's why we are here explaining the rules of the game. Working agreements rules of the game should be really clear, so we establish boundaries. Within this scope, this sprint goal, this sprint backlog that was defined by the product owner, do whatever you want, whatever is best to reach this goal. So they will take responsibility. We set the boundaries, and inside here, they will take responsibility and be committed. It's very important that after these 3 elements are set, the leader steps out. Out. Yeah. Because if you're there, as taking responsibility is not very pleasant sometimes, they will try to relate to the leader and say, what should I do? What is next? I don't know how to do it. Please take responsibility for me. Yeah. They will be in the daily stand-up, for example, looking, where is the Scrum Master? Yeah. So that he will take responsibility. It's very important, therefore, to step out. And this is a technique that I use for teaching, for facilitating, and also for coaching Scrum teams. Yeah? When I facilitate, I do the same. I clearly explain what is the goal of the exercise. Yeah? For example, in this case, so we have to describe the role of the Scrum Master. And I put the boundaries. We have 10 minutes, you have to do it in a flip chart, you have to do it in a team of 5 people. And I ensure that you are able to do it, because I did some explanation before, some connection before, so you understand the role of the Scrum Master. Yeah? And then what I do is I step out. Yeah? When I step out, you take responsibility, you are committed to the goal, and you self-organize. Not to do anything, to do this goal. Frequently, organizations, in some organizations, when they hear about self-organization, they are afraid because they're confused and they think this means anarchy. They can do whatever they want. And I don't really trust the people. They might screw up. Yeah? Well, this is why if we treat team members as kids, they will behave like kids and never take responsibility. They will say, this works in my computer. So if we want them to be committed to the sprint goal, we need to treat them as adults and ensure that this is built. Yeah? Now I will